Can you hit record?
Oh yeah, I remember to hit that too. I like the mic to give me a little bit more bass. This is the Produce Your Own Life show. My name is Rodney. I am the host and creator of the show. Make sure you like, share, rate this show on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, and every other podcast platform available. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel, the Produce Your Own Life Network. Subscribe, like, rate, share this show because it's running and it's running strong. Today, this afternoon, I got my brother with me. You know, I'm blessed by his presence. He is an actor. He is a songwriter. He is a singer, very gifted singer. And, he's, still newly married, he got a beautiful family, get going. But he is an incredible artist that is coming up the charts. He's known. I've seen him perform over in Germany and other places. I've seen his videos and everything. I support him. Without further ado, would you show some love for my very special guest, my brother, Elijah Jamal.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. It's good to have you in the house, brother. I like the hat.
I'm glad to be here.
I haven't seen that up there. That's nice.
Yeah. Gotta wear your own brand. Wear your own brand.
Yeah. You give me a lot of ideas, man. So, man, what's good? So we just catching up. Just to let y'all know, we just catching up. Yeah. Y'all just a part of the conversation.
Absolutely.
So what's good, man?
Man, I'm here back in town.
Yeah.
I was out of town for a little bit. Got to see my family for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
A long time. It's been a couple of years. So, and I'm sure it's been like that for a lot of people. But yeah, I was just grateful to be able to see the family and just kind of get that cup full. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's always good to get a cup full of family, man.
Absolutely.
And a side order or whatever else come with the cup full of family.
Yes, sir.
So, because COVID really caused you to have to really chill out. So you spent COVID out in LA then the whole time?
The whole time. Well, you know what? I did go see my parents in August. But just them. Yeah. I didn't see anybody else but them.
Okay.
But that was it.
And you got an incredible sister, Asia, who has her own show,
Shout out to Asia.
Asia, you very wonderful person. Yes, very wonderful person. So, man, you was in the Shy this past week, and now you're back in LA, and you got, a new album coming out,
sir.
And Broken Melodies.
Broken Melodies. Yeah.
Man, break that down because that title is really, really, really fire.
Well, thank you. I think what's beautiful about the title itself is that it can mean something different depending on the person listening to it, right?
Yeah.
So for me, musically, it speaks volumes because what is a song without a melody, right?
Yeah.
And so when you think of a melody and you think of something broken, it's it really is to kind of paint a picture of letting you know that it's not just a song, but there's something else behind the song, something that you can feel, something that you can relate to.
Yeah.
Something that it takes pieces to bring it together.
Ooh.
Are
those pieces broken too?
Well, that's what makes it broken in the first place. So It's like in order for you to get the whole picture, you still have to put all the pieces together.
Man. And then it comes together to form a beautiful melody.
Exactly.
See, I could be a singer in my dreams. Like I can dream about my singing. I've have some dreams about me on stage singing. That's about it. But this is the man who really drops it. Like,
well, thank you.
And we had a chance to meet several years ago. We were working on a project, The Single Life, and he was the lead in there. And it was a great series, a good time working with everybody.
Great time.
Yeah.
I still try to keep in touch with everybody. We had such a great time on set and just genuinely like good people.
Yeah. We got to get a shout out to William Scales.
Absolutely.
Right? William Scales Productions.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir Collins. And he got a great last name. Collins? Yeah.
Oh, because of I was like, wait a minute, ain't that your last? Oh, okay.
Yeah, when we met, he was like, wait, we cousins or something? I was like, I don't know. I got a lot of Collins out here. So
right.
Never
know.
But like Takoya, who, played opposite you. You guys were co-leads. Just I've had a chance to meet some beautiful people in the industry, man.
Absolutely.
And I love your walk. I love your passion behind you being an artist, a
Thank
singer.
you.
Because once I got to know you and see your music and listen to your music, I was like, man, this brother's deep.
Oh man, thank you.
It's deep, I was like, man, I wonder how he was in high school.
That's a great question. Like,
Yeah.
so you think about that. Like, I would think about that too. Like, what did Luther sound like at 10?
Woo, 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 woo.
What is
Everything.
that? Because he's got that. You know him for that voice, but it's like, well, what did he sound like? Like,
ABC.
you know,
Everything was a song, probably. He was singing A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
everything.
Just imagine the teacher have him come up to the front of the class and he just sing.
Yeah.
You got an A.
No one's coming up after that.
You got an A for the day, A for the year.
You know, when I got an A actually in college, I had a speech class, and the project was we had to come in and recite a poem.
Oh, really?
And the whole thing was about public speaking, and so kind of overcoming that fear and getting used to speaking in front of a bunch of people, strangers, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, singing is what I do, so I'm gonna get up here and I'm going to sing this song that's like written like a poem, and it was a Jagged Edge song. Right?
Are you gonna give us a little bit of that little sample?
I'm trying to think if I remember the words. Girl, you know that you're the apple of my pie. To me, you're like a cherry in my cherry pie. I wake up early like the sunrise to be there for you when you wake up. And there was something else like, but yeah, so I sang that verse, and I mean, it was almost like cheating, but basically it was in the form of poem, and that helped to get a good grade. So
wow,
it worked out.
That ain't fair. I can go up and do a little rapping, but that's it.
Yeah,
but I can't.
Somebody did that too.
They did.
And they killed it. Yeah.
Oh, shoot, I should have did.
You could have did that. See,
did that. I admit I'm not a rapper. I can lip sync Milli Vanilli some rap all day.
Okay.
I can fake some rap.
That's a skill too, though. That's a skill too.
Yeah, you give me a lip sync battle. I DM'd LL.
Okay.
And told him, yo, I'm gonna be on that show before it's off.
There you go.
He never responded, but still, I'm gonna be on that show.
It's still on. You still got time.
Yeah, I told him I'm gonna be on that show. But man, back to you, man. So this Broken Melodies. Yeah. Like, what's the title track from that?
Like what's the title?
Yeah, what's the one that you use to bring us in? Like, because I know you got a lot of tracks on there.
So now I feel like you're trying to tap into some information that's not available.
See,
no, it's cool. No, so the first track is actually it's more like an intro, but it's about the length of a full song, but it's called Sunrise.
Sunrise. I love that. Like, I'm definitely not gonna ask you to sing because I want people to buy it to hear it. But what I would love for you to do is give us like what's the background behind that? What made you write that song?
So Sunrise, first off, for me with music, is all about painting a picture and telling the story, right? And so Sunrise, it literally is painting this picture of this perspective of someone who, when you think about the sunrise, it's like everything comes up. The sun is beautiful and you can now see everything because the light is there.
Yeah.
Well, the contrast is that this person runs from the sunrise because they have so much hidden that they're trying to keep buried within because they're afraid that if someone actually sees them when the sun rises, they won't love them. And so they purposely only come out in the ways where they can't be seen entirely.
Oh, wow.
And that's kind of what the premises of the song is about.
That, man, what you just said is extremely powerful because I could be honest and say that within the last 5 to 6 years, I really started loving me. I'm just keeping it real, people. And hearing something like that, it really kind of wakes you up. You're like, man, how many people really do struggle with that and don't really want that sun to shine on them because they struggle with who they see in the mirror every day.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about, being a songwriter. What you do, you tell that story that's going to lift somebody up. Because I struggled when I dealt with that. So
that's real. And it's something that I think a lot of people, more than we even realize, can relate to.
Yeah.
So I think that's the point. I'm just an instrument. I'm just a tool. that God uses to kind of paint the picture. But the pictures that come, it's like with Broken Melodies, it's like there's so much I have to realize that because I feel these messages so much that it's for somebody else.
Yeah.
Which means that there are multiple people that are experiencing this thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes music is all you have to turn to, and you hear that song that says, "Oh, somebody gets it."
Word.
And that's a part of the purpose.
Well, I just got it just hearing just what's behind that song. I was like, that's definitely probably gonna be. I have like a morning playlist. To this day, I have a morning playlist and I have affirmations I say to myself.
Okay.
Every single day. I have it. It's on my calendar so much that it pops up 3 times a day.
Oh, I do too. I have that too.
For real.
Affirmations.
I love it. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. See, it's like because we have to speak life to ourselves.
Absolutely.
We gotta love ourselves, man.
Absolutely.
Oh man, that's right there, man. Get me a little emotional up here. I need to get some tissue.
It's all good. It's all good.
So, like, with you being like, you got your new album you ready to cut out, and you're acting. Now, I know you've put in projects and stuff like that. So, what do you think you see yourself doing in the next few years in the industry?
You know what's interesting? I've been blessed to work on a couple really cool projects.
Yeah.
But I've never done a movie.
Really? That's what you want?
That's what I want to do. I've never done a movie. I've done the web series. The web series, that was my first web series.
You were great in it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've done commercials. I've done plays, stage plays, obviously music videos, even like music videos for other artists.
Yeah.
So, I got to work with Neo and LMA and Alicia Keys, but I've never gotten to do a movie. So that's what's on my list.
We gonna put it out there. We gonna speak it. We gonna pray on it, and we know it's happening.
Absolutely.
Hey, we like almost Bad Boys right here.
Yes, sir.
Will Smith, I'm Will Smith.
That works, bro. Absolutely.
We can do that. Hey, y'all see y'all doing Bad Boys 4. Y'all need to call.
Exactly.
We your younger brothers.
There we go. There we go.
Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, y'all better hear this.
No, tell the story.
We can help tell that story with y'all.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just love that though, because you're very talented in everything that you've done. But one thing I noticed about you when I first met you is you got a pure heart.
Thank you.
And I'm pretty good at judging that. And I was like, man, this brother's a good heart, man. So that goes to me, that goes so much further than any other talent or ability.
Absolutely.
Like everything you do, you put your heart and soul in.
Yeah.
So I love that. So you coming from Chicago, I saw you posted the other day about an anniversary. You got a certain anniversary that just hit about moving here, right? Yeah. So what was up with that? See, you didn't think I do homework. I do homework.
I was like, anniversary? Oh yeah, sure enough. So yeah, I've been here now in California for 6 years. 6 years. And for people that live in California, that's a huge, because a lot of people don't even make it past the year mark,
Facts.
So it's like when you've been able to come out here with really little to no connections and sustain and continue, it's a big deal.
It's huge.
And so seeing it is like, and I'm always reminded, because I have a little time hop app, so it like reminds me to let me know, like, yeah, this is what happened 6 years ago. You posted this, or you had this picture, and it's like I had posted this picture, and and it's like in the rear view you see my car, and you see the little trailer in the back, and the sunrise is right behind it. Right?
Oh, a sunrise!
Yeah, the sunrise is behind it. It was like a sunset.
Yeah.
The sunset is going down, and I'm reminded of that trip, and it was not a fun trip. Like it started off like I'm excited. This is cool. But at the same time, I got this trailer that's pulling my little Toyota car, and I'm hearing noises, and then my car stops in the desert twice, and it's like different reasons each time. Like when I tell you, and I was traveling with a friend of mine, so it wasn't by myself.
Yeah.
But even me and my friend, we got into it, and it was just like so much tension going on the way to this thing, and it's just like it was a lot to deal with just to get to California, and it's like, man, but it was all worth it.
It is.
It was all worth it, and I'm grateful and so blessed that I got to this point. 6 years.
Man, that is something to do. Cartwheels, everything with I tell you, because I got 5, and I was like, man, people don't understand. This is like living 20 years in another city.
Exactly.
It's like all the work you put in to just be here. And
Mm-hmm.
I have so many people inquire, like, man, yo, I want to get in the industry. I want to do this. I was like, man, are you acting in the city you live in? They'd be like, no, not yet. I was like, listen, put some work in where you live.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you really love this thing before you come all the way out here for this.
Yeah.
Because this is no joke. It's beautiful. I love living here. But you can't move here as a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I just want to check out this. No, you better know. When you move here, you better know you're here to do this.
Yeah.
Which is like you said, because 90% of the people who move to LA, first 10 months leave. 90%.
Wow.
So when you say a lot of people leave, it's true. Because a lot of people move here and they find out, oh, wow.
This is real. This is real.
From the traffic, cost of living is kind of relative. You kind of get, it's crazy, but you get used to it after a minute.
You do.
Yeah, it's weird.
But it is very crazy
It's
because
still.
like when I was in Chicago and I had my own place, I had a decent amount of space.
Yeah.
And I was like $650. Right?
Yeah.
If you live somewhere in LA and you're paying $650, trust me, you're not inviting anybody to your place. Okay.
You are dodging and ducking bullets, baby.
You are literally staying in a bathroom. Like that's your bathroom is the kitchen, is the bedroom. Everything is in one space. If you're paying $650 in California, no. You are, and if you are in LA, you got a tent. Like it's really up there, right? But at the same time, what's interesting is it really challenges you to change your mind, your way of thinking. Because I had the mindset that I was like, well, I was only able to afford this amount when I was here.
Yeah.
So I can't see myself being able to afford more than that because that's where I was at. Right. Instead of thinking, well, I need to be able to afford this. So this is the level I need to be operating at, and letting that basically open your faith and your opportunities so that you do have the right resources coming in. Right. And that's what wound up happening. It was like each step that I took, I had to increase, but the increase had to come from my belief that I could actually elevate to that level.
Yes.
And then it was like, instead of thinking, oh, well, I can't afford that, instead of thinking, oh, I can afford that, and I need to figure out how to get to that point so that I can afford it. So it's no longer about where I was, but it's about where I'm going, and where I'm going is so much bigger than what this little cap is that I've been putting myself into, you know, to say like, oh no, I'm only at that 650 or I'm only at that 1200. And it's like, each time it's like a step up. And I'm like, all right, so if I got to pay this for my rent, that means God's about to show up with that type of potential.
That's it. That's it. Come on.
That's the way I have to look at it.
Yes.
You know, because it's like, but legit, just limiting the mindset that says, well, I can't do this. It was like, oh, okay, well, then you won't.
and you're going to leave.
And that's just it. That's just what it's going to be. But if you actually stick it out and you believe that that's what you're doing, you're moving off of faith, then there's no choice but for you to succeed.
Man, and you just led me into what we were talking about, because like one of the aspects of my show, the most important thing is about producing your own life, like taking personal accountability and really owning it.
Mm-hmm.
And those defining moments force you to start to realize either I'm gonna own this or I'm a bail. Yeah. And, you know, so would you kind of describe that type of moment was like one of those moments where you're like, yo, I gotta really believe.
So I would say the first moment was when I decided to move to California. Mm. One of the things that I've always kind of just taken pride for is that I'm a man of my word. Yeah. If I say I'm gonna do something, like, unless God stops it from happening, you can consider it done, right? So I'm in Chicago. I've done the performing at all these different open mics and all this other stuff, and to the point where people that are in that industry, you know, starting to know who I am, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just at a point now where it's like, you know, bad contracts, bad deals, all these other things coming into play. And I'm like, can I make moves without moving? Mm. That was the question. Mm. And it got to the point where it was like, all right, you're going to have to move. I'm like, okay, so where am I moving to? Yeah. And I'm thinking it's between California or Atlanta.
Yeah.
Right. And when I would talk to people, not necessarily mentioning me moving at all, they kept saying, you need to be in California. You need to be in California. And I'm like, but my people is really
in Atlanta.
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
that's kind of where my people at. I don't really know, Chicago. I got family. Well, I got family, cousins that are in California that I didn't really know before I moved out here.
Okay.
But I have family that I actually did know in Atlanta. So I was like, either way it could go, but I felt like Atlanta might be a little easier for me to kind of get in there, right?
Yeah.
But California. So when I told my parents that I was moving to California, and then I posted, the send-off party, I'm moving to California, it's like, look, you can't go back now. Like, this is it.
Yeah.
You gotta, you know what I'm saying? I had the job that I was working at. They were like, it was a temporary job. They were like, we want to hire you on full time. And I was just like, why don't you get that job to someone? Because I'm not gonna be here. And I'm thinking about it because, and what was interesting about that, it literally got to the point, bro, where it was almost as if Chicago was kicking me out.
Yes.
So I had a period where I was working all the time, but I wasn't meeting, the ends didn't meet, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm financially struggling, but I'm working my butt off.
Yes.
On like 40 hours a week. I'm doing that, and still I'm literally just playing catch up, and I'm not catching up. Right? And I was single. I wasn't in a relationship, and it was just like, okay, you don't have anything to lose by moving, but you have a lot to gain by actually trying to go out here and see what can happen.
Right.
So it got to that point where I was like, I really want to make this work in Chicago, though. This is where my family is. This is my city. Like, I know this place. I know my people. And it was like, yeah, but no, you're not gonna be able to do that. So that was the point where it was just like, okay, I'm going to move to California, to a place that I had never been to until the year I moved.
Wow.
So I visited my family, my cousins, in March of 2015, just so that they could meet me, because I was going to be moving in with them for a little bit, so they could meet me and just kind of gauge a feel if they wanted this stranger in their house.
For real,
right?
Yeah.
And when I showed up, my aunt, she was like, where are the rest of your bags? That's all you brought? I was like, I'm only staying here until Sunday. Like, I'm just here for a couple of days. She's like, oh, I thought you were moving to. I was like, you thought I was just gonna come in here without you even meeting me? And you were gonna welcome me in like that? I'm like, this is a different kind of family.
Yeah, that's good family.
That's old school family right there. That's like, if we've got bloods, and that's it.
Yeah.
If I got a place to stay, you got a place to stay. So I'm grateful for them. But I was like, no, I just need to come out here and just kind of get a feel for it. And then I went back, and then in June, 3 months later, I actually made that move. But yeah, that was it. That was definitely a defining moment.
I love how you broke that down, because it is. It's real. Like, the cost of living, it is out here. But you have to look. I looked around. I'm like, all these other people are living out here and they're surviving.
Mm-hmm.
What makes them different from me?
Mm.
Like, God, I know I'm just as smart, just as gifted. It's the only reason why I would leave is because I don't think I'm capable of doing it.
Right.
And fear and the desire to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And comfort, to me, is the enemy of progression.
Mm.
The more comfortable you are, the less things you're going to accomplish that you're really here to do.
Yeah.
Because I'm a firm believer that I don't like being uncomfortable, but if I look at how, God positions people, most of the lives are not very comfortable, because he's using some things in us. Yeah. Our gifts don't really come out in comfort. It don't.
You're telling the truth.
It don't.
You're telling the truth. Yeah.
So that's what I love about what you said. It's like, we really do. You got to have that up here heart, your faith. You got to believe, like, no, I'm just as capable. So that's how I show up now. Mm-hmm. Anywhere I show up, I'm 5'10", but you might think I'm 6'10" or 7 foot because of the way I show up. Right. And that's how I believe. I was like, you're gonna feel that. You're gonna feel my presence. Mm-hmm. And it's gonna be a good presence. It ain't gonna be a bad presence. Exactly. No. If it was, you wouldn't be here now. I ain't going on Rodney show. But man, I love that about you. So you went through the process. You came out to Cali.
Yeah.
Never living here.
Never living here.
Never being
visiting,
here.
Yeah, never visiting.
Which is huge.
And here's what's crazy, even about the faith situation. I didn't even know when I had just picked a date, right? I was like, all right, when am I going to leave now? I was like, June 1st. It's just June 1st, that's it.
Yeah.
I had no reason for it other than I wanted to be like settled in probably before my birthday, which is in July.
Yes.
So I didn't know at the time, I actually didn't have enough money to move. A friend of mine, right?
Yeah.
Here's how I didn't find out until I was on my way to California. So what happened was a friend of mine that drove with me.
Yeah.
He I was telling him, like, I'm getting ready to make this move, and he was supporting me with it. And he's like, well, guess what? That's how I can bless you, by helping with the U-Haul, pay for the U-Haul.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, man, thank you. I appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how much the U-Haul was going to cost. But when I looked at how much I was paying just on gas to getting there, and I'm looking at my bank account, and I was like, if I would have got that U-Haul, listen, I wouldn't be in California. I don't even know if I would have made it to Texas. Like, it's legit. That money started racking up on the gas alone. Yeah. By the time I got to California, I kid you not, I probably had under $300. Period. My car was making noises, and I remember I was like, let me see if I can get this fixed, right?
Yeah.
And so my cousin, her boyfriend at the time, was like a mechanic.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, yeah, I can get somebody to come and look at it. It's going to be $100. And I was like, I'm thinking about the way my checking account is set up. I'm like, so wait, I got less than 300. You trying to take 100 out of the less? I ain't got no job because I didn't come out here with an opportunity already in place, right?
I feel you.
But I got a cell phone. I still got some bills, and nothing lined up.
Woo.
And I'm like, $100. I'm like, Listen, I was like, okay, well, maybe we're not gonna use you. Let's see if we can get somebody else in here. Let me tell you something. I was so heated. This person showed up and literally took a screwed something into my car.
Yeah.
Underneath, the sound was gone. It took him 2 minutes.
All right.
To do what he had to do.
Okay.
And it did not cost $100.
Hey.
Right?
I know you was happy.
I was super happy, but I was also upset. I'm like, man, I'm supposed to get the family discount. That's the whole point of going to the whatever.
Yeah.
The point is,
we know how that goes.
Right. We know how that goes. But like, that's coming in. That's like my first week here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on? And sometimes we have to look back, because when you look back and then you think about, oh man, how did I get through all of that? To this day, I don't entirely know. Like how I actually got through all of that. I'm like, wait, who was paying this phone bill?
It's like, I don't even know if I was paying the bill.
I don't even know. Like, did I think it? But my phone, I'm not going to say my phone never got cut off, because it was like literally a time I was on my way from volunteering downtown.
Yeah.
And I was trying to look up the GPS to get home. And my phone was like not working right. I'm like, what's going on with my phone? And sure enough, it was cut off. But it was because I didn't realize I needed to pay the bill. So immediately I paid the bill, phone back.
You good. Yeah.
But the point is, I always had my family really to help. So it's like, if I needed somebody to pay the phone bill, I can call this person. If this person ain't got it, I can call this person.
Yeah.
And that's what it's been based off of. You know what I'm saying? Having that family. But a lot of people, they may not be as blessed to have that person that they can call.
Right.
That's not going to trip. And like the way our family is set up, it's like, if I got it and you need it, you got it.
Wow.
And we're not thinking about, hey, remember, you still owe me.
That's
it ain't even like that. It ain't like, it's not like no one's keeping tabs on what's owed. Like my brother reached out and was like, yeah, I owe you $30, right? I was like, man, I ain't thinking about no $30 too. If you want to pay me back, great. If you don't, it doesn't matter. Like, But my aunt taught me, like, whenever you give somebody money, just assume you'll never get it back. Give it in that way, in that approach, and then you'll never worry about it. You know what I'm saying? If it come back to you, praise God. If it don't, praise God. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's it. And so, yeah.
I love this, because what you're encouraging me by talking about how your family rallied around you, because That's something that we all need,
Yeah.
and a lot of people don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still other people that God assigns.
Yep.
And sometimes, it may not be your direct family.
It could be your spiritual family.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember there was a time where we were moving closer in town because we lived way out. When we first moved here, we was out near Rancho. Just because it was nice.
You was out about where I was. I was in Ontario.
Yeah, see, we know. It's nice and chill.
It is.
It kind of feels like Midwest a little bit. It kind of makes
It ain't LA though.
No, you're not
action at all.
You're not in LA out there. You gotta drive 50 miles to do anything.
Yeah.
And that 50 miles is 3 hours. So it's not cool. And I remember we was moving in, and this guy who I was part of a little group, like mentoring group, he was like helping to coach some people who were working on their careers. And he was like, "Hey, how's the move going?" I was like, I'm trying to scrape together, a little bit more money for this move." He was like, "Well, what do you need?" I was like, "A couple thousand." I said, I should have it in a couple of weeks. I said, "I'm gonna hustle and get it." Next day, my Venmo showed $2,000.
What?
And I called dude. I said, "Hey man, I didn't ask you for this." I was like, "I can't be taking a loan out from no people, man." I was like, "I don't need to be owing you no money." He was like, No. He was like, "No, for real. God told me to do this."
Wow.
And he was like, "This is for you to know that He's called you here."
Right.
Also, as you're blessed, just pay it forward.
Right.
He said, not if. When you're in that position to bless other people financially, just take care of them, help them out. And I had the chills, and to this day, I'm just blown away that was so much generosity. I was like, "You only know me for 3 months.
Wow.
Who does that?
Yeah.
I thought I was getting pumped. And then I was like, "Hey, I don't need to be on you. Like, I don't want to."
Right. Like, I don't want to have that kind of heat,
$2 grand?
$2 grand?
I ain't trying to owe nobody $2,000.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, I was like, man.
Yeah.
What's your terms? What's your interest rate?
Right. What's your interest rate?
Is it like City Financial where they're charging 50%? I don't know.
He gonna be able to find you.
Yeah. But those are examples that God was like, "No, I called you here. I'm gonna walk with you." Yeah, there gonna be times when you looking at kind of a Red Sea thing where you're like, "Dang, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this."
Yeah.
But that's for you to sit back and trust that I called you here. And don't. So that has helped me to not worry and stress, like lose my mind. Just I stay like pretty even keel.
Yeah.
Just chill. Like, okay, we run into a problem. Okay, it'll be all right. It'll work itself out. It's like because everything has always worked out.
True. And worrying has never killed anything. Worrying has never solved the problem.
It's
gonna be like,
sleep.
What? I worried really hard, and that's when I won the lottery. Like that's never happened at all. And you remind me of something. I was at a men's group.
Yeah.
And the pastor was speaking. He was talking about sowing and all this other stuff. And he was like, "I'm going to sow into you." Now, I've never met the pastor. And there's a lot of other people in this room. And he's like, "I'm going to sow into you." And then he points at me, and I'm like, he's like, you happen to have a hat on. I always have a hat on.
He does.
It helps me stand out.
Not the fact that you're already tall, too.
Right.
So,
Accessories. So he points to me, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to sow into you." So I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So he literally just does something like this, like counts out, and it's like this, right?
Oh.
So I'm thinking he's counting up $20 bills. I'm like kind of doing the math or whatever. First off, this has never happened to me ever, right?
Yeah.
Just being picked out at all, right? I'm like, no, that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
He gives me $500, right?
Yeah.
What's crazy about this is I did not know that with our rent coming up, that I was going to actually need that.
Wow.
It was unaware. I wasn't even aware because I was thinking in my mind, maybe not calculating another expense, that I was good. And then something came up and it was like, oh, I would not have been good. This would have been a different kind of conversation. And this is what happens, right? So it's like stuff like that literally will just kind of come out of nowhere. But the thing was, one, I wasn't even thinking about it. I wasn't worried about it.
Right.
But God knew, right?
Yeah.
That needed to happen.
It was coming.
And so it was like those situations will come, but again, it comes from stepping out on faith and actually moving towards that thing without knowing what it looks like. One of the things that one of my friends would constantly post or put as a hashtag is "Do It Afraid." So even though you can recognize the fear, but just don't live in it. Just like do it. If you are afraid, do it, do it, do it. And those that I think we see that are so successful and what it is that they're called to is because they did it while they were afraid. They weren't waiting for the courage to come. They weren't waiting for
because it ain't coming.
Surety. You're not going to have that option where they can say, "Oh, I know for a fact that you are going to do blah 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 blah." Now, I will say prophetically, I have had words spoken over me that have helped to guide the directions, but at the same time, there's a lot of room for movement and interpretation that you have to just kind of act out on your own. So yeah.
Man, I'm gonna share this quick story too, because this is good because I had been in LA 9 days. The job that brought me out here, first of all, that's what laid me off 6 months after bringing me here. Thank you for that, because it launched me into my purpose. But I had been here 9 days. I was on the 10 freeway, just got an oil change. Now this is my car that I worked years to get, like raising my kids and everything, and being a husband. I never bought a car I really, really wanted.
Oh, this was that car.
Yeah, and my kids was college, and I was like, finally I can get this.
Okay.
So I had it back in Cleveland. I was like, I drove it out here, jet black. I had Night Rider on the plates.
Oh,
it was
wait, what car is it?
It was a Lexus.
It was a Lexus.
Yeah, it was jet black, black interior, no panoramic. It had everything. Mark Levison sound system. Okay. It was my spaceship.
Yeah.
And I get in, it knew my settings, car seat, there's no Rodney's in the car. Let me adjust for my man. Right. And so all that, I worked hard to get the car I finally wanted. So I'm driving out here. And then I finally get on I'm sitting on the 10 freeway. I've been here 9 days, coming from oil change. I'm like, I'm going to get me something to eat. I look in my mirror, and when you get stop and go traffic, you ain't going nowhere. So I'm just kind of sitting, shortly behind a little SUV. My mirror, I see this car, the dude look up, and he's skidding towards me. I can't go to the left or right. Wow. I'm stuck in. All I had to do was I just had to sit there and take it. Smash my car, push me up under the SUV, like my whole front end folded. But I got out the car, like the cabin area was good. Like I was able to get out, like no problem. I said, first of all, I'm gonna buy another one. Because it was like, dang, it took that hit, and I was like, good. But then I looked at the front end, leaking. Every fluid was coming out. I said, he killed my car. And so then the officer, which I didn't want to get in his car at all, he was like, I'll take you to this restaurant where you can wait for a ride. I was like, man, I ain't getting in your back seat. I was like, I'm not getting back there because my heart started pounding. Right. I was like, can I get in your front? I said, if I can't get in the front, I'll walk. I'll walk down the street to this restaurant. I'm not getting in. He's like, yeah, just get in the front. I said, you're good. So I got in there. He dropped me off, and while waiting on the Uber to pick me up to take me back to my place, it said, when you get the notification that it's coming, it was like, Jesus is arriving in the far future, but it said Jesus. Yeah. And I was like, I know I'm in California. Jesus is a popular name. Yep. But I was like, wait, what's the odds of in this moment where I'm just so broken and kind of frustrated? Yeah. I look at the note. I still have that picture because I was like, okay, you let me know you're here. You're even through this craziness, you kind of sitting here laughing with me. Yeah. Because I couldn't do nothing but smile. Yeah. I just said, hey, Jesus is coming to pick you up in the Ford Fusion. I was like, I'm looking around like, yo. Come through. So that's, to me, those are the moments that validate that you're walking in the right way, even though it's rough. It's like, I'm with you still.
Oh man, I got a crazy story.
Go ahead, give it to me.
Okay, so a friend of mine signed me up to do a seat filler.
Okay,
right?
Oh yeah, that make you a little money, man.
So this is when I was first out here, and I signed up, and we got to do the NAACP awards, right?
Nice.
So on our way into the building where everybody was walking in, one of the people in charge of seating people and everything else, they asked me, could I stay and hold the door open? Okay. And she's like, hold the door open. I won't forget about you, right? Cool. So I hold the door open, and I'll literally wait for the last person to walk in. Once that happens, everybody's in, everyone's seated, doors closed. I don't know where to go, right? Because everybody else is inside now. And they're literally like, this is live. So there's no, hey, pre-recording, stop, top. No, none of that. It was literally everything's live. This is it. So I'm like, okay. So I go in and I'm like, just kind of sit off to the back.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's no one to tell me where to go.
Yeah.
And you got cameras and everything running. And this is NAACP Awards. So I'm sitting in the back. And when I tell you, I probably spent half of that show in the back behind the cameraman. Oh. Not behind the camera. I'm behind the cameraman. So I can barely look past what he sees, and he's looking through this big old giant camera, right? Meanwhile, she's like, I won't forget about you. She's totally forgot about me. Completely.
For real.
I don't even know if I saw her again that night.
Too much stuff going on.
Too much stuff going on. But here's what's crazy. This lady comes back and says, you and you. She points to me and this other lady.
Yeah.
And she said, follow me. So she takes us all the way from the back.
Yeah.
And we're walking with her. We're walking with her. We're walking with her. And we're going down, down, down to the front, down to the front, down to the front. I literally am walking now past Will Smith and Jada Pinkett.
Oh.
I'm literally walking past Taraji. I'm walking past Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
I'm walking past all these people. They sit us in the front, in the middle of the entire stage, right? So I literally have the best seat in the house.
Oh
right? My. The best seat in the house at the NAACP Awards.
Oh.
Right? This was insane. So I'm like, I literally went from being the last
to the first.
To the first.
And they was probably
and I'm like behind me, over my shoulder is Kerry Washington. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm seeing all the cast of Empire. Like I'm seeing, they're all behind me.
They felt like, yo, who's he?
And what's crazy is Terrence Howard won an award that night.
Yeah.
And it was like when he's running up, because of how they have it panned, you could barely see me. Yeah. But I'm like right in the front. For that moment, right?
Yes.
So it's like, yo, it was just a crazy, like you thought you were last and you wound up being the first and having the best. Man. I would have taken the 5th, the 10th row. It wouldn't have mattered, just a little bit closer. And it was like right in front.
But that spoke something to you.
It did.
I know it spoke bigger.
It did.
It wasn't just that moment.
Yeah, right. It wasn't.
Wow. Okay, that's where I'm headed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because you were patient.
Yeah.
You didn't get an attitude.
Nope.
Because most people you give, I can't believe they forgot. Man, forget this. I ain't never doing this again. All the stuff that they saw, you were patient. Because I guarantee she may not have been watching, but somebody was watching you.
Yeah, maybe.
And I guarantee they ain't gonna put nobody up like that.
True.
Somebody was like, go ahead, bring him on up. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
And that's favor, man.
Yeah.
And you don't get that by being a complainer and having your tantrum when things ain't going your way.
Sure.
Because that's a principle for everybody. When things ain't going your way, learn to stay kind of cool and chill through it. Right. And stay prayerful, keep your mind right and focus, because know one that you belong.
Mm-hmm.
Because you was like, I'm here. I belong here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a recording artist too. And Will Smith said a long time ago, he said, I've always been an A-lister. Hollywood just didn't know yet.
Yeah.
And
I feel that.
And I feel that way too.
I was
like, and it's because by living this life that we're living, somebody else is watching. Mm-hmm. I know you get a lot of DMs. I get DMs all the time for people saying, man, I'm watching you. Like people I know from back home, everything. Like, man, I'm watching y'all, man. Hey, man, it's encouraging me to do this, whatever. I'm getting ready to start this business, man, because I'm seeing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, praise God. Yeah. I was like, if that's causing you to really step out and build something for your family,
mm-hmm.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm doing.
Right.
Like, me and my son just formed officially our own production company.
Nice.
JRC Legacy Productions.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, because his first name is Josiah Rodney, so I was like, I'm going to put my son, because I tell him every day, like, you're my heir.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's why I'm so careful over him. He's 22 years old. My wife get on and she's like, you treat him like a little kid. I said, because he's carrying my name.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to carry my name.
Yeah.
I got to guard that. I got to guard that. So, but it's just about knowing your purpose, man.
Absolutely.
And I know Philanda, my wife, y'all, she producing today, so she came in and gave us like a little warning that we run the show on time. But what I'm going to have my man Elijah do is, with every guest, I give you the opportunity to really speak to the audience.
Okay.
You got 1 minute, man. Just talk whatever's on your heart, whatever you want to pour into them, and then you leave them with how to stay in contact with you.
Okay.
And what's coming next. So I'm gonna be quiet for a minute, and Elijah got the floor.
No pressure. I just for anyone that is listening, I just want to encourage you, inspire you to always be true, not only to yourself, to your purpose, but to realize that you are here because you matter to someone else. It's never about you. It's about those that are attached to you and to your purpose, which is why it's so important that we figure out who it is that we are called to be. The reason that we were created was to be creative, but that creativity is attached to reaching someone else. So it's never just about you elevating or you getting the bag. It's about those. There's a certain thing that God gave you specifically that only you can use to reach this other person that needs that thing. So I want to encourage people to do that and always put God first, making him the priority.
Yes.
And really giving yourself the opportunity to move even through the fear. Yeah. So I just want to encourage people with that. And if anything, the greatest message is that of love and understanding that anyone that you come across, no matter what your interactions may be, the fact that that person is alive means that there's a purpose attached to it. And so we're human beings first and foremost. And so moving with that mindset of integrity and love that says, I may not agree with everything that you do, but I respect that you are a human being. That's what I think is one of the most important things we can do. But if you want to contact me, I'm pretty easy to find social media. Elijah Jamal, one word, ElijahJamal, or my website, ElijahJamal.com or .net. You can YouTube me, Spotify, Apple Music. I'm on all the streaming sites. Take the time and listen to some music, and hopefully you'll hear something that you can feel and relate to.
And make sure you download his latest album,
Broken Melodies. Yeah, it's coming out September 17th.
Yeah, so get ready for it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do have a single out right now called Love Is. Yeah. So it's a part of the album. Definitely check that out as well.
Make sure you catch all the good stuff that my brother has coming. And he didn't say this, but I'm going to say this. You can Google him too. So Google him and you can get a whole list of everything. But man, brother, I'm grateful that you blessed my stage with your presence. And it means a lot to me. When somebody is willing to come on my show, it means a lot to me. So I appreciate that, man.
Absolutely.
And I'm just glad that we're doing this journey together, man.
Me too.
It's like I ain't playing with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. Hey, you need to call us.
Yes,
I know y'all doing another one. So, but with that being said, you all have been watching and listening to the Produce Your Own Life show. My name is Rodney. This is Elijah. Make sure you go to Apple, Spotify, iHeart, every other podcast platform. Make sure you subscribe, like, rate, and share this show. Then go to YouTube. Subscribe to the Produce Your Own Life Network. It is life-changing. I promise. I'm not saying that just because it's my channel, but it is life-changing. Make sure you subscribe, watch the videos, share it, and remember to be an inspiration, because stop watching inspiring lives and become one. And with that being said, we are out of here. Peace.